allow the children. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ,
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o,
Maiyegun máa wí.
àní ẹ̀sùnra jù.
Maiyegun ti
Hello, dear. So good morning to you again. A good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are tuning in tonight. It is Maiyegun live. And you are welcome back if you are with us earlier today for the brunch time. So let's just call this one the continuation of it. Because during the brunch time, we did touch a little bit on what Werey Wike, said, in their, in his media chat again. So tonight, like I said, we are continuing from there and highlighting the part where I believe he was responding to, the zoning announcement by the PDP, the faction of PDP, right? And Werey Wike clearly said, that if PDP should dare bring back Peter Obi into their fold, they will destroy the party completely. Now, we are going to probably just highlight or single out the word destroy in this context. And that is what will probably form the body of the conversation on that. And maybe if we have, we cross the line tonight, we may take calls because we couldn't take one this afternoon. Okay. So after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, hear it, invite your friends and your not so friendly friends, your frenemies, and tell them to join us tonight. So among other stories, Tinubu got caught in a lie. From yesterday, his own supposed aides, the court jesters, the team of propagandists, right? They put out something. It was meant to be a rebuttal, rebuttal of a discovery published by a Nigeria newspaper. I think it's called Daily Trust, right? Where they highlighted all of the announced contracts awarded by Tinubu across the country. So they had him in a jugular in that place. And rather than them come clean, they decided to spin it. That kind of made it, worse. We're going to touch that too. Also tonight, earlier today, during our brunch time, we heard where Hellfire Kaduna Littlefinger said the people of a southern Kaduna literally are more like inconsequential politically. He said they hated him simply because he won't fund the vacation medical trips of their leaders. And he closed that with the population of Christians in the entire Kaduna, right? They are less than 20%. Now, some of the people from the southern Kaduna, Christians and others from across Kaduna have started reacting to that. So there is a story like, a continuation on that tonight and possibly more afterward. So let me just call those ones the highlights. Once again, thank you for joining me. So let us start with the data of Werey Wike. Just a quick reminder as well, backstory. Werey Wike is upset simply because he felt betrayed by the PDP when it mattered most, when it was the time for the party to show a bit of resolve and or kind of like clarity, so to say, to stand behind the southern Nigeria in producing the presidential candidate of the party in 2023. His entire permutation, including all the money he spent, he felt betrayed. In fact, he was betrayed. In his own way of fighting back, he instituted different kind of court cases against the party, not himself directly, but he's got his own friends, at least, left in the party. So around that part, after that time, the party has been struggling to at least find their way, or find a common ground in moving on. But unfortunately, Werey Wike got rewarded by thiefnubu. He was given the governor of Abuja. So with that, he had enough resources to further keep the party in comatose, sort of, just to exist for existence's sake. And he was blaming that on Atifku's ambition, in which the longer Atifku remained in the party to Werey Wike, the longer the problem of the party will linger. Then Atifku left. Who would Werey Wike fight now? Right? His own friend, supposed the co-travelers, his fellow key-string governors at the time, Solo Makinde Ibadan. And it is simply because somehow Werey Wike believes that the pact he has with thiefnubu also involves them too, because they were all together that felt agitated by the action of the PDP in 2023. So for Solo Makinde to be having a presidential ambition, that would be contrary, because he already assured thiefnubu that they will do all within their power to at least go the direction that Werey Wike is going. So Werey Wike announced that he would be publicly, personally leading the thiefnubu's re-elections campaign in Rivers State, a kind of a dog whistle. You get a dog whistle to say, wherever I go, my people will go, including his pals in PDP. So his own anti-party offense or thereabout, or anti-party adventure is not a secret. Werey Wike had attempted to revoke the COO, Certificate of Occupancy, of his own political party's national headquarters. They were chased out of the building in his usual show of power. So Atifku left, Solo Makinde remained, and they said they were trying to put everything together to prepare for 2023. That would be contrary to what Werey Wike signed with the thiefnubu. So that means PDP is done for. So he now gave them another condition. If they really want to do everything that is right, they must zone the ticket to the south. Surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, PDP yielded. They announced that their 2027 presidential ticket is now zoned to the southern part of Nigeria, something they've never done in their 26 or 27 years or 28 years of existence. Right? So that was supposed to come with a Wike Abi, because again, I think I did a program on that when I said, of course, that would make Werey Wike go back to the drawing board, because there must be problem. They must have problems. It's not going to be over like that. So we waited and waited and waited until today, when he did his usual media, charts. Among other things, he said, here is where he focused on Obi, because there were rumors, by the way. Well, there are no rumors. There are stakeholders in PDP who have come out in the open to say, yes, we are having a chat with Obi. There are those who have also publicly come out to say, yes, we are having a conversation with Jonathan. So all of these are not secret, not like secret meetings and what have you. So now let's assume that Werey Wike's reaction and his own strong words possibly lays, kind of like a credibility on that information that indeed they are trying to bring Obi back to their party. So Werey Wike, Peter Obi doesn't want to do any groundwork. He would rather just go to where they are going to give him the ticket. He didn't have to fight for it and all that. So what about them that have been working for the party that I mean, all of that? So is he a saint? So if he's not going to do the dirty work, right, and expect others to do the dirty work for him, if PDP is going that path, it will destroy PDP. Now, again, back to the emphasis on destroy. Now, right now, right, is PDP not really destroyed? I mean, if maybe not totally, I mean. But what is the role of Werey Wike in all of that, in ensuring that that remains so? Because his role has been very much also well pronounced. And to him, it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they, whatever it is that they are, they can't. He said they would have to wait till 2031. That's what he said, among other things as well. So let's start from that. Consider that as the highlight so that at least you don't get too bored listening to his, But here is the part. If they bring Obi back to PDP, it will destroy the party.
The PDP has now zoned the presidency to the south, chairmanship to the north. Is that a plus for you? Would you be running? Some other senior members of the party are even rooting for ex-president Jonathan to run or Peter Obi to return to the party. Where is your position here?
My very correct and I want to ask you. Those who say Wike is wearing a mask, what are they wearing? You see, people, you see, Nigerians don't like those who are very blunt and who will tell you where they are. Right from day one, I did say with my colleagues, listen, PDP, you are shooting yourself. And if you allow what is going on to continue, you pay. And what did I say? Or what did we say? You cannot have the presidential candidate at the same time national chairman of the party. It is better now you have stolen the presidential ticket. They stole it. And again, stole the national chairman. I said to purge you. And it really purged them. And I have no regret for it. Now you see, I have appeared in this forum before. And I said, listen, you have to, the presidency must go back to the south for them to be able to complete their 8 years. I never hid it. I said it. And people were making noise, at the end of the day, what has happened? Now they realize that yes, it's true. We cannot take president and take chairman. Now you have given yourself national chairman. Let the president go to the south. Why not be that as used to be? Why not be that arrogant to say nothing will happen? No, they realize that something will happen. It happened in 2033. Even this one you have done now. So what? Bringing Obi to where? Bring Obi to where? You want to kill the party the more?
You allow.
Obi that, I mean, you see, if somebody don't have character, Obi that was abusing the party, that the party is rotten, is this. So the party is good enough for you to come and run for, these people, ambition can make you even go to Satan's house.
Minister,
don't excuse me. Don't rush. You ask question. So, Obi is not anybody who says so, like the Baba said, I heard him say. That is Baba's opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. But if you want to destroy the party, dare it. If you want to destroy this party, dare to do it. Let even Obi come. There's nowhere he will go because of ambition. Can't win the principle because you are looking for president. Anybody that if he has not available, this doesn't cost me. This doesn't cost me. So no more ideology, no longer principle.
Werey Wike, to him, Peter Obi that called them group of criminals, the people that destroyed Nigeria. So he's going to come back here now. He's going to come back here, So yeah, that leaves a lot of a question though. If indeed Peter Obi goes back to them or wherever he goes. But somehow there are others who are somehow pitching Werey Wike's response to that, or the way he responded to that question, to what some suspected to be the level of confusion in thiefnubu's camp. Well, let me explain. These are not my thoughts, okay? These are thoughts of people that I've kind of picked up, conversing on the matter, right? So to them, presently, for real, nobody knows where Peter Obi is going to end up. And by the look of things, it seems that is by design. It is not coincidence. You get what I mean? Like, so they were able to read all of the parties. I mean, some of them where they have their own inner control and influence and all that. But from what El Rufaya said, and Obi himself, right, where they have been given the freedom or something to still remain wherever they are and continue, right, to do whatever they are doing with that, by the coalition or by their coalition. So some are saying that probably the likes of Werey Wike sounding this note of warning, left, right, and center. If you remember, for like 2 straight weeks, Werey Wike appeared on different media. After calling media chat, he appeared on TV like about 6 or 7 times in 2 weeks, talking about this coalition, talking about Amici and the rest of that. But lately, everything seems to have subsided enough that they are not so sure what these guys are up to. Or maybe that is just, some naive observation. But you can't pretty much like wish it away, like just like that. Because Werey Wike is obviously working for thiefnubu. He is already telling the PDP that River State people are no longer with PDP by their last charade local government elections. So Werey Wike is already sounding that, he's already dropping it in the media. In that same chat, he told his spouse there that truly APC has become a threat to PDP in River State, right? In which many believe that, well, it is his own machination. Whatever it is that they are plotting is obviously in the interest of thiefnubu. Now, if you are doing all of this openly, and nobody can even like take him up on it, we just say, wait, listen. Hey, sir, it would deflect. Blame somebody and point fingers. So if somebody like that is now telling it's a supposed party that let them dare it. You get what I mean? Isn't that more or less like ironical, like unbelievable, right? Where it is that it is how they run their politics there. You just can't see most of it like logic or have you there in it, right? However, PDP themselves are also deceiving their supposed people too. You see this open division. They are not mere political, what do you call it? A political brick battle. This is what you call systemic state capture, where in the political front, the entire political space has become so compromised by the agent of the ruling party, using the instrument of the state to compromise them, keep them unable, right, to stand an election per se. Ensure that is guaranteed as much as possible. In the economic space, give your friends, your business partners, and what have you, give them the free will, the free hand when the government policy won't actually affect them, and they can run amok on the country's economy. On and on and on and on like that. That's not how to run a country. But they call it political strategy, being political this and that, giving the people no choice at all. As much as they make it look like they're having a democracy, but it's all scripted, all teleguided like that. And people have no real say. It is a state capture. That's how it works. You get the media, the fourth realm, the fourth estate of the realm, all compromised. It won't start in a single day. It can take a decade or two. In this case, probably like you are at the degenerative stage. So they had a local government election in Rivers State yesterday. All right? It was scripted, written, and the rest of that. And the sole administrator has sworn the winners in APC, Egbekegbe, at the 20 local government areas. The PDP declared 3 local government areas. But there are some things very much interesting about that desecration of their democracy. And that is the entire vote from the entire Rivers State in 2023, right? The entire votes no reach 400,000 though in the entire state. But for local government area, Werey Wike's local government alone recorded 358,000. That's almost 400,000, right? There are places where they said the local government, the total population of the local government is kind of put at 202,000. That's the entire population of the local government. And they said the children between the ages of 0 to 17, they were put at about 123,000, which means they have the younger population. And that will leave you with about 70-something thousand eligible voters. When they finished the Asharade local government election 2 days ago, that local government, the winner from that local government won a total vote of over 110,000. So this is kind of the charade they put together. So he was being asked about it, like, how did that happen? How did your party? And he said PDP didn't run. They didn't have any candidates. You get that now? So that's why APC won all those places. But he went back to his own local government and he worked for his party and people believed him and they voted for PDP. Same thing in Port Harcourt. So you get. Then he switched off again because Peter Obi has condemned. I mean, so Peter Obi had condemned the charade yesterday. I think that it's an aberration. It is a tragic destruction of all those big fancy words. To remind everybody that all these things whether they do, hey, it will boomerang. Go one day they will wake up and this their fake democracy will be gone. So Werey Wike had to respond and said, who is he? Who is Obi? Ask him. Why did he not conduct a local government election throughout the time he was governor? He did not conduct local government election 2 months before the end of his term. That is when he conducted local government election. And I've had people repeated that many times as well, So, but that is not the whole story. For those who are aware, when Obi became their governor in Anambra State, a few months after that, he became their governor through court, by the way. So they removed Ngige. Ngige was already governor for like about 2 years or 3 years, thereabout. So when he became their governor, PDP were the ones in charge of all the local government of all those places. So then he got impeached because he was supposed to sign some certain money out, which were already approved by the State House of Assembly. For those of you who probably can't remember about that, the Anambra that time, but that was the place they kidnapped the state governor. Political godfathers, they kidnapped the state governor. They locked him up in the toilet, and they forced him to resign. And immediately they swore his deputy, his deputy in. You get that? But that got turned off because somehow he had a phone on him. So in the toilet where it was locked, the news all over the state was that the governor had resigned. So Ngige had to make a phone call in the toilet. That was the call that saved him. So he returned back to the government house. Nothing happened to the Uba brothers. Nothing. And they went ahead then to that's why some people felt like, they were the ones who probably used the judiciary to give Peter Obi his victory, since Ngige at that time already won the people of Anambra State to his side by the events that took over the state at the time. Even those that didn't like them, they were all beginning to support Ngige. And not long after that, the Supreme Court also returned Peter Obi as the duly elected governor. And a few months after that, the PDP State House of Assembly impeached him because he won't sign the renovation of the governor's house, his own house. The governor. So they've already approved, I think they said they've already approved about they've already approved about 400 million or something to renovate his house. And it was like, no, that's a lot of money. Because of that, they impeached him. He went back to court. So by the time he came back, his own deputy, who was already sworn in as a governor, that one was already positioning herself as APGA candidate. Because to them, Peter Obi would have to finish Ngige's term as PDP term. But he was like, no, I'm going to use my 4 years. Virgie Etiaba was already preparing herself to become the APGA candidate to replace Obi because she was the acting governor. The governor. So Obi went back to court. While they went on to do an election where Uba brother, one of them, was declared winner. Andy, I think it was Andy. Yeah. The people that were making people governors in Anambra, they had to send one of them to go and become the governor. So Andy Uba became their governor for a few months. When he was sworn in as governor, Peter Obi won in court again that no, he must complete his 4 years, not completing Ngige's term. That was how all of that happened, and they are not like something that happened in a month or two. We are talking about stuff that happened like consecutively for straight 2 years. So until he finally settled down as their governor. When he settled down, He then dissolved the local government area where PDP appointed caretakers. Then he appointed his own caretaker. Immediately, a member of ABGA went to court and sued the state that Peter Obi, okay, should not conduct local government election for violating the constitution and appointing caretaker, blah, blah, blah. The case lingered until 2012 or 2013. And that was around the time he was already leaving. Then they were able to conduct local government election in Anambra. It wasn't like he became their governor and he just stopped local government election. Like, no, I want to collect all the local government money. But that's what politicians are saying. Politicians like Werey Wike. Listen, you go see how he's going to frame it now. You realize what I've been saying.
Take Peter Obi, there are rascality. Who can be more rascal? Obi became a governor. He was governor for Anambra State for 8 years. He conducted local government election 2 months from when he was leaving office. 2 months, 8 years as governor. Does he have what it takes to comment about conduct of election that was properly done and backed up by law? When Obi was governor, Nigeria forget easily. Doctors were on strike for 13 good months. Hospitals were shut down. 13 good months. Are we saying that we're not aware of this? So what do you mean rascality? Who's more rascal? So you should not take the views of the, because you see, the anger is that they are looking for where they will get funding. And that's no longer available in River State. They have no capacity or morals to even talk about it. A competent court of jurisdiction, Federal High Court, gave order, gave judgment, said, look, don't do this. Atiku was one of those who held the conduct of that election. Now, under the report of the president on the emergency rule, he has said, go ahead and conduct local government election. What I thought we should be more preoccupied is, one, was the election free and fair? If you ask me, I saw State Independent Electoral Commission chairman. Of course, you know, I don't even know most of them, but they call me. I'm from Sokoto, I'm from Ogun, I'm from this. We came to ask their report. They said in 30 days, in 1 month, you could do this. When somebody has done well, say the person has done well. If I have my way, I would recommend the chairman and members, the president should take it to the national level. It is very clear. It is very, very clear. Look at the conduct of the election. You have seen people are saying, for the first time in our history, no gunshot, no kind of ballot boxes, no kidnapping of returning officers. And nobody wants to come out and commend security agencies and the research. You're only saying illegal to you. The court has not pronounced. Take Peter Obi.
I told you, and that's what politics is in Nigeria. Maybe that's how politicians talk, that they just have to be very dishonest, because those who are his own opposition too, they are possibly like that when they are talking about him, or maybe he feels that is how they kind of talk about him. Yeah. So Werey Wike, but everything he said in that clip is a lie. Everything. But I'm not going to explain. All right. So let's leave that and go to the onofunugas of this world in their asshole rock. Few days ago, right, something happened. And I didn't actually, I mean, initially I probably didn't see anything to it. I just saw the graph and ignored it. I didn't know that the Northerners, they took it beyond just a graph. So now let me explain to you. You know, all these and awarded contracts by thiefnubu, they are in different categories, right? So let me break them down for you. To start with, there is no budgetary provision for any of the projects per se. What did thiefnubu do? In order to hide the fraud, the mega fraud they were about to, to unleash on the country, thiefnubu drafted an executive order. I don't know the number, it doesn't matter. An executive order where it then created a special fund in the Central Bank of Nigeria, and they call it Presidential something fund, Infrastructural Development Fund. Doesn't really matter. The fund is what you want to know, right? Now, it is not like the country made so much money and they then set a portion aside. No, they are called Presidential Infrastructural Development Fund. It is to be administered by Wale Edun and Adobe, the Oduduwa Emefiole, the central bank governor. Again, there is no special money anywhere. The purpose is to now borrow to fund projects they called legacy projects. These are projects that are outside the budget, outside ministry of this or that. They are thiefnubu's projects. If thiefnubu feels like, I want to start pumping all the water in the ocean, I want to pump them away, I want to dry the ocean, or I want to pump all the water from the Lagos Ocean, I want to use them to irrigate Sahara Desert. All he's got to do is to write how much he needs. How much? $21 billion. Okay. Let's see where we can get the money. So they start looking around. And they can just say, Yima, Lababs Construction, Irrigation Group of Companies. This company will now get the $21 billion contract to pump the water from Bar Beach in Lagos and run the pipe straight to Sahara Desert to go and turn that to a vegetation. That's the concept of the money. That is where the idea of Lagos Coastal Road came from. So in between 2.5 or 2 years and 4 months since thiefnubu came in, from that pool alone, from that presidential fund, thiefnubu has awarded contracts that are, when you combine them all, they are more than the budget of the entire country. Again, there is no special money to fund it, just to borrow and all that. So, Lagos Coastal Road, 18 trillion naira. thiefnubu had paid out, according to them, over 2 trillion naira. Badagry, Sokoto Expressway Legacy Project. How much? 14 trillion naira. Okay. I'll put this chart on the screen for you, anyway. So people now were like, they started saying that thiefnubu, right, has been pumping money into the south, especially southwest. So this what do you call this newspaper then published who got what, and they said Lagos State alone so far, out of all the money released by thiefnubu or contract he claims to have awarded, right? The only ones that have been funded are the ones from the south. A great allegation, right? So 2.7 trillion naira. Okay. To start with, the entire southeast, northwest, and northeast will get 3.5 trillion, while Lagos alone has gotten so far 3.9 trillion. So they now listed out, for instance, right, the approvers for Lagos and Southwest. Because sometimes when they say Southwest, it could come be like, say, people where they Ekiti, people where they Ondo, people in Osun, and people in Ogun State. They are not part of Southwest, but Lagos. But we'll get to that one. Continue to look at that graph on your screen. The project they said thiefnubu has approved for Lagos State alone. Remember, this is coming from Northern Nigeria, the people of Northern Nigeria, and these are people who feels like they were the ones who brought thiefnubu to power. Yeah. So they said rehabilitation, modernization of Muritala Muhammad is 712 billion. Lagos Airport perimeter fencing, 49.9 billion. Reconstruction of Kata Bridge, 359 billion. Shoreline at Ebutero, Outer Marina, 176.4 billion. Construction of 55-kilometer section of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, 1.6 trillion. Compensation on right-of-way acquisition under the Lagos Industrial Transmission Project, 13 billion. Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway from Victoria Island to Eleko Village, 1.06 trillion. Shall we go to the 2.7 trillion for Lagos Coastal Road there? Now, supply, installation, and training of operators of the disabled aircraft recovery system at MMA, Muritala Muhammad, 4.2 billion. Now, when you add everything together, it all comes to 2.18 trillion, right? For Lagos alone. Now let's go to what thiefnubu distributed to the rest of the regions. So if Lagos State alone has gotten 2.184 trillion so far, where and who got the rest? I will break it down, don't worry. So now put this beside the northerners, where the northwest is claimed to have received 2.7 trillion in this thiefnubu's project. South got 2.4 trillion. Southeast got 407 billion. North Central 1.15 trillion. So Northeast and Southeast are the least given in all of this, because this is not to make you feel by any means like Tikodo. I just want to say somehow, it can be like say the Southeast, they didn't come last this time. And here is another twist. Okay, it has now been discovered that yes, some of these projects that they are announcing by thiefnubu, they are not being funded the same way they are funding what thiefnubu is doing in Lagos. Not Southwest though. Mokuna they talk and clear because even thiefnubu, when they wanted to put out their defense, you know what they said? What they put out? They said Northeast, Northwest, North Central, Southeast, Southwest, minus Lagos, excluding Lagos. It could be like Lagos now one region, but we'll get to that part. So the Ronukus who are scattered in other dusty, underdeveloped towns in Yoruba land, but they are pretty much like easily spooked when it comes to this dear Lagos. I hope they open your eyes and you know they listen to Abi, because you are supposed to be part of Southwest too. You get? Except if you want to go and sleep under the bridge in Lagos. Some of you don't even get you don't even have a place in Lagos. But somehow you always masturbate in public, wank in public, when it comes to this thiefnubu and this Lagos. But we'll get to that one. So thiefnubu and his gang then put out what you would call their defense. Because according to them, this is misleading. This is wrong. This is not true. Okay, tell us what is true. Show us what is true. Dare Oponulojo Sunday, the former minister under Bokohari, who is now a special advisor to thiefnubu on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook matters, decided to do this graphic design in their warped mind. Hopefully, because they know that if you are to join APC, one criteria they will take from you is that you won't need your brain to join APC. You would have to let that out of the entire other thing that you are coming for. So therefore, they believe sometimes when not sometimes, all the time when they are releasing information, right? They probably feels like they are addressing their moronic runukus. Okay? So Dare Oponulojo Sunday put out this. They started putting roads that are not in existence. They started forming contracts total that are not real. Take a look at the graph on the left. In their effort to tell everybody that thiefnubu has a balanced, okay, let's start from the top. Infrastructure equity for every region, progress for Nigeria, thiefnubu. He called it balanced project. I'm starting from the one on the left, so don't see. Close your right eye, okay? Shut your right eye, like with one hand. As if you can do that, just like this. So that you can be reading, so you can be reading the one on the left. It's easier that way. Because your brain is, when you do like this, although my camera may be putting my hand on so this is my right hand on my right eye. But the camera may have done a mirror, where have you, and put this on the left. Don't mind me, So if I do like this now, and this one is on, so I think scientifically it means I will be using my right brain to work with my left eye. So you read with me, right? So here, the project by regions. Emma won't call. It said Sokoto, Gusau, right? Sokoto, Gusau, Funtua, Zaria Road, 275 kilometers. So they said it is 524 billion naira. Abuja Kaduna Road, 350 kilometers. They say it is 764 billion. Let me say something about this Abuja Kaduna Road, right? As you are listening to me, okay? You see that number 2 on the northwest that they said they have 5.97 trillion. According to people, right? They said Abuja Kaduna Kano Road is a total of 350 kilometers. And Bokohari's government was already doing that, in which that, I've actually seen eyewitnesses as well, right? So, in which they have already paid out over 200 million, and the total contract itself is just about 300 and something billion. Oh. But thiefnubu and his gang, they are saying that it cost 764 billion. So Northerners are asking, I beg, which one be this? Now, you see this of Bua tax credit road in Lengawa, in Kasina to Kano, 256 kilometers. In fact, let me bring out this info. This one will help you. Oh, sorry, help me to explain it better to you. Right? Thiefnubu. That particular Northwest, they said you added 4 projects from North Central and Northeast to those of Northwest to make it look huge. Bama Dikwa Road and Damaturu Maiduguri Road are in the Northeast, while Lokoja, Okene, and Benue are in the North Central. Now, take a look at that list again. You see Benue, 9th mile. They put how much? $900 and something million. That road there is not in Northwest, so it is in North Central. Lokoja is in Kogi. You know that one, Lokoja Okene dualization is in Kogi. It is not Northwest, it is North Central. Kaduna Kasina Road. Okay. So, yeah, there's another one. Abuja, Kano, Kaduna project awarded to InfoQuest at 250 billion naira. But you are writing 764 billion. That's number 2 in that Northwest. So then they went on. They called this one the Legacy Project. Legacy Project at the top again. Let's go to the top. Top right. Legacy Project, Calabar Coastal Road. Sokoto Badagry Road. And what else? I'm sorry, I can't see that clearly though, but yeah, I can see from my own writing here. So, Legacy Project. Then you have that Kano Northern Bypass. That is, the Kano people say that is an audio project. Look at the ones they say Kano Northern Bypass, 49 kilometers. That is not the project doesn't exist. This was them trying to, right? But let's go on. Then they go to the North Central, right? They now added the Benue 9th Mile Road again. They added the Lokoja Okene again. They added the Lokoja Bene dualization again. That's how they populated, and they said 5-point-something trillion in the Northwest. Now, here is a point, Sha. The point here is that all of these projects, pata in northern Nigeria, majority of them have been abandoned. But if they want to take pictures, they have a way of doing that too. They will send the contractors back in. They will pretend that they are doing something for a day or two, take pictures, and they're gone. Because they are saying that there is no money to pay the contractors in northern Nigeria. So the northerners are now believing that, oh, but you are paying the ones in the south. We are seeing all the videos. We are seeing the pictures. So what are you telling us? Okay. Thiefnubu and his gang, they went back to go and redraw the plan, to re-explain it. And guess what? They still messed it up with lies and all that. There is a part I want to see, the Southeast. In the Southeast, where they said they have awarded contract of 407 billion, right? Enugu Onisha Road. If you are from the eastern part of Nigeria, this would be a chance to tell us what is going on. So it won't just be like, oh yeah, they are working here. Oh. And how much is the road worth? Enugu Onitsha Road. Why did they? Okay, 72 kilometers. Enugu Abakaliki Road. Second Niger Bridge access, 17.5 kilometers, 75 billion. Lopanta, Enugu Road. I don't know if there are other states in the eastern part of Nigeria apart from the Enugu and Second Niger Bridge. But that's open for debate. In the south, they listed Eleme on a road, 30 kilometers, 156 billion. God damn it, man. Eket bypass, 10.7 kilometers, 76 billion. Jesus. East-West Road, section 2. Somebody said that they've seen them working on this East-West Road. Well, you are here to probably confirm that again for us if you can, right? Baba Hello, Northeast, go back to Northeast. Tinubu said Kolmani oil wells, near Bauchi and Gombe states. What happened there? What did they do you remember when Bokohari said he discovered crude oil in Bauchi and Gombe? It is called Kolmani. All right. Now, when you look at all of the projects, which of them is this again? Yeah, the part where they said exclude Lagos. Have you seen that part on the top right? Lagos Ibadan, 8.5 kilometers. Lagos Ibadan, yeah, they are always working on that one forever and ever. Lagos Shagamu, 12 kilometers. How much? Oyo Ogbomosho, Ilorin, 148 billion. Qatar Third Mainland Bridge, Eco Bridge, 120 billion. Is that not a lie? Because Qatar Bridge, everything they want to rebuild, even Qatar Bridge alone is over 320 billion naira. I mean, at 345 billion. So they now said exclude Lagos. But they actually wrote it, they said exclude Lagos. So Southwest only got 600 billion. Well, maybe you can see it clearly here. This is the one they went to go and amend. But nothing really is added that is, that is not a lie. And Koolu and these handlers, they have been so busy trying to explain to people that they just don't understand what thiefnubu is doing. A member of their party that just left, Marafa or so is called, said, is another now. He said they have learned their lesson and learned that thiefnubu is a leader that uses people and dump them. Oh, that's new. Marafa, I wanted to say Marafak, but Marafa.
So let me jump in quickly. You wanted, your group is saying there's only one minister from Zamfara, and that's the former governor. And there are those who say Marafa also wants to be minister. Is that what you wanted? Were you able to put these requests to the president directly?
The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria said every state must be represented in the Federal Executive Council. That is to say, there must be at least one minister from each of the states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But that is the minimum the Constitution talked about. And what we are saying here, in the whole 7 states of Northwest, Mr. President was able to secure victory in only Jigawa and Zamfara states. And what we have seen now is Mr. President, even in our own zone, giving most of the states two ministerial slots, while we were left with only a pittance, of Minister of State in defense. And don't forget, the person they made the Minister of State, if not because of the baggages he comes along with to the district, was a 12 years member of Federal House of Representatives, and 4 years governor of Zamfara State. Mr. Shaun, we felt slighted by that position. Regardless of who it is given to, we felt the efforts we put, to secure victory for Mr. President, deserves a cabinet portfolio for Zamfara State. And the many heads of agencies. Now, compare this, like I said, with Lagos State. Mr. President lost Lagos State. How many slots did Lagos State got? Now, take Ogun, for instance. How many slots has Ogun State? So, what we are saying, looking at the treatment meted on Malam Nasir El-Rufai, looking at the treatment now meted on Mr. Abdullahi Ganduje, looking at the treatment that meted on me, we now are convinced that Mr. President, is a use and dump leader. And that is just what I said. And that is just what I mean. And that is the truth about it, Mr. Shaun. Anybody can call me.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoky.
So because of that, he has already joined the ADC. the coalition to get rid of thiefnubu, as majority of them are currently having what they call the buyer's remorse. While the Ronukus are asking them, like, why are you guys so entitled? Like, why do you think when Bokohari was there and he was riding on that, nepotism, impunity in such a way that a lot of them said, if you are not comfortable with it, wait for your turn. Like, why are they all like triggered that they are currently like jumping ship to get rid of thiefnubu? Why are they having buyer's remorse? Who knows? But let's leave that quickly. Again, we are going to retouch back again on the El Rufaya's interview with Sheun yesterday. He spoke about a lot of things, but this particular one is now about the southern Kaduna. For those of you who witnessed, you see, the level of terror unleashed on the people of southern Kaduna in Kaduna State when El Rufaya became their governor in 2015. I can rejig your memory to some extent. Kaduna State, especially the southern Kaduna, became an easy target for the Fulani terrorists who were brought back to the state by El Rufaya himself, that said he traveled far and wide, West Africa and beyond, to get the Fulani terrorists who were on the run from this part of Nigeria, that they could come back because their brother is now the president and their brother is now the governor. If they lost their cows, the state will pay them. And indeed, they were paid. And that moment after, the insecurity in Kaduna escalated, while El Rufaya continues to grandstand and claim that most of what you heard about the happenings that happened in Kaduna, they were mostly from the people that hated him, the Christian leaders. Now, El Rufaya wants us to strongly believe that, you see, the Christians in Kaduna are not being persecuted as it's been promoted, or it is being kind of like believed, because they are inconsequential when it comes to political, stuff in the states. That under him, he did everything to protect them, but they didn't want to be protected. And that is why they will never say anything good about him. But I do remember when once upon a time, in his defense, when the terrorism against the people of Southern Kaduna was so much like that, right? El Rufaya, in his own defense, said, people shouldn't believe all these videos. You should not listen to all those church leaders whose churches have been attacked, bombed down, their members killed. El Rufaya said we shouldn't listen to them. That all those videos, they were making those videos because there were people who were donating money to them or donating money for them from abroad. And it was because of this money. That's why these people didn't want they didn't want peace. And what was peace? It is the same one Bokohari introduced at the national level, the peace of the graveyard, where the victims of terrorism would have to learn how to live with their killers. Do you get that? In so many communities where these terrorists actually killed people during that terrible, horrible, horrific period of El Rufaya in Kaduna, there were communities that those who survived and ran away, they never returned. And most of these communities were also renamed and gazetted by this El Rufaya. He is so evil that, I don't understand the level of a Stockholm syndrome that will make anybody anywhere to ever root for him. You have no idea. You do not have an idea. And he is very, very that dangerous. And I implore people to always read his countenance when Southern Kaduna or Christians are mentioned. Now I'm going to replay that video for you. Because now people from this Southern Kaduna, they have been responding because the agenda is indeed to let you believe that Kaduna is an Islamic state. And for those of you who grew up in Kaduna in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, a majority of you are already saying that the Kaduna you grew up in is no longer the Kaduna of today. Now you have extremists who are willing to kill in the name of their prophet. You now have the politicians who have weaponized this religious indoctrination for political gain to cause violence, rig elections, and on and on. You all have seen them today that, no, this is no longer the Kaduna where you all mix so well, from all tribes as I have been told, from all different backgrounds as I have been told. Today, it is no longer the Kaduna. No, it's not. Just like many places are no longer the places they used to be anymore when Nigeria happened. No thanks to this guy or the like of this guy, El Rufaya of Kaduna.
There's a section of the southern Kaduna people who have a feeling that there is this hard approach of yours to things which gives them a feeling that maybe Nasser El-Rufai hates southern Kaduna people. They can, what do you say to them?
Yeah, they can think what they think. Sheun, I don't tolerate nonsense. Governance is not a joke. When you are governing 10 million people as I did in Kaduna, you must not discriminate between A and B. Nobody can blackmail me that because he's a Christian, the law doesn't apply to him. Okay? There are people in southern Kaduna that feel entitled to behave in a certain way, and I didn't take it. I dealt with them. Just as the IMN, Al-Zakzaki's people who thought that they could do anything they want and get away with it, we dealt with them. Al-Zakzaki people are Muslims, like me, but I didn't take any nonsense from them. Go and ask them. They consider me an enemy.
How do you then explain to those who think that you are a fundamentalist?
I don't care. The people that think I'm a fundamentalist don't know me. They have never met me. They have formed their opinion. And frankly, Sheun, the reason why my enemies are very vehement at hating me is because I don't care what they think. It's the way I am. I'm very comfortable with who I am and what I am. And I don't care what you think. You know me. Those that worked with me know me. Some of the closest people I worked with in the government I empowered are from southern Kaduna. They know that this is not true. But there are people, there are some entitled southern Kaduna Christian leaders who are used to getting money every month from the government. $20,000 who are being used to giving $20,000 to go for medical checkup every year. I stopped it. I stopped funding pilgrimage, just as I stopped many other things that are waste of government resources. I will not be popular.
But how do you explain the balance of power when you as a government, and you know the quantum of the Christian community or Christian people in Kaduna State, and those who feel that you never cared, and that's why you had that hearing when you were governor?
No.
Do you regret any of those decisions?
Listen to me. Listen. What do you think is the quantum of the Christian population in Kaduna State?
You think they're insignificant?
No. What do you think? No, I ask you. What percentage?
I imagine maybe 30 or 25% of
they are not up to that. Okay? So, if they are not up to that, why should they feel entitled to 50% of positions in the government? Southern Kaduna, the 8 local governments of Southern Kaduna accounted for over 60% of the civil service when I was there. So, who is talking about marginalization? But for Southern Kaduna leaders to send a delegation to me after assuming as governor and announcing my cabinet to say that they have been shortchanged because they got only 25% or 30% of the positions because they are used to 50%. And I said, okay, on what basis? On the basis of what? PDP was rigging in Southern Kaduna. They were writing results to overturn the elections of the majority in Northern Kaduna. So they will give you 50%. I didn't rig my election. I won. There are 3 senatorial districts. We made appointments on the basis of equality of senatorial districts. But this is the feeling of entitlement that I faced. And it had to be wiped out. I had to bring everyone down to the level of reality. I'm not going to encourage self-entitlement or using violence to negotiate.
Did you support the Muslim ticket in your party in 2023 too?
I did.
And you think it's okay?
It was a political strategy. It was a strategy to win the election. It was not a religious strategy. It was a strategy to win the election.
And it worked.
Clearly. Look, Sean, when you are contesting elections, you look at every variable, look at every index, you look at every criterion that will help you win. Okay?
Did you see how he confidently downgraded the population of Christians in Kaduna State? I'll tell you something. The only reliable or close to reliable data of the population ratio of the people by religion of the people of Kaduna State, the entire Kaduna State, was this Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey or Health Survey, NDHS, 12 years ago. That's the closest to any reliable data concerning this subject. You can Google it yourself. And guess what? Here is what the survey put out. They said Christians make up approximately 49.7% of the population in Kaduna State, Nigeria. The figure aligns closely with other estimates, such as those from World Christian Database, which describe the state as roughly evenly divided between Muslims, around 50%, and Christians, around 49%, with the remainder following indigenous or other religions. The state religious composition is notably divided along geographic lines, with Christianity more prevalent in the southern areas, predominantly among ethnic groups like the Atiap, Baju, and others, and Islam dominant in the northern parts, primarily among Hausa and Fulani populations. This near-even split has contributed to historical tensions and conflicts in the region, though exact percentages can vary slightly by source due to the lack of recent official census data on religion. This simple information is what you can type on your phone. But here is a catch. One of the reasons why somebody like El Rufaya is appealing, or appears to be appealing to some Nigerians, is because of religion. When you see people who are Muslims and somehow educated and a little bit extreme, El Rufaya and his thought, his mind, is in kind of like a relation to theirs. To them, they have this inferiority complex, this complexity, right? They have this inferiority complex that always makes them to chase what they call supremacy. Do you understand? There are some of them who believes that it is their mission for Islam to spread, even if they have to use violence. So El Rufaya and his likes, they are seen as messenger of Allah, no matter how you see them. Because if you look at Kaduna, if Kaduna had 49.something% of Christians in 2013, 12 years ago, and today El Rufaya is saying boldly on TV that they are less than 25% without presenting any data to back it. It simply means when somebody who is an Islamic fanatic, an extremist, who sees El Rufaya as an intelligent man or a good person, automatically will kind of feel satisfied inside him or her, because to them, the Christians are fading. Islam is increasing. Who told them? El Rufaya. Do you understand that mind play? Meanwhile, if you take a look at this southern Kaduna that he is talking about, among those who have put out their own statements, So take a look at it this way. A young man called John Adamu Nkom wrote this from Lagos. Okay, he said, please leave El-Rufai with his gaslighting and misrepresentation of facts at Politics Today on Channels Television. I am from Kaduna State, and I consider it a privilege to have access to verified demographic data that speaks truth to power, especially concerning the religious and ethnic makeup of our states. Let's start with Southern Kaduna Senatorial Zone, which comprises 8 local government areas. Over 95% of the population here is Christian. This is a fact. Moving on to the North Central Senatorial Zone, which has 7 local government areas. Out of these 3 local government areas, Kaduna South, Yekun, and Kajuru, are at least 75% Christians. These are the most hit area, by the way, as well, apart from Southern Kaduna. You see this Kajuru, Shekun, and Kaduna South. These are the areas where they have kidnapped school children, and people were actually really slaughtered and killed by these Fulani terrorists on the El-Rufai. Now, said even Kaduna North local government area, which is often perceived as predominantly Muslim, has a significant Christian population. At one time, Reverend John Aboki, a Christian, was the democratically elected chairman of the old Kaduna local government area. You are free to fact-check this. This. In the Northern Senatorial Zone, commonly viewed as an Islamic stronghold, there are also substantial Christian communities. Take Lere, Saminaka, for example. Over 60% of the indigenes are Christians. It houses the Gure people. Now, during my work on the World Bank Agricultural Project in the Northern Zone, I encountered a truth that many might find staggering. There is a large population of Hausa Christians in areas like Ikara, Makarfi, Unkuyi, and Kubau. The number of churches and Christian communities I witnessed there was nothing short of astonishing. Out of curiosity, I asked some locals why these Christians are rarely seen in political offices or positions of influence. The answer was disheartening but unsurprising. They told me Muslim Hausa elites have ensured the political marginalization of Christian communities. This is part of a broader conspiracy by the Northern oligarchy to preserve political hegemony. These marginalized communities, lacking strong political representation, are forced to quietly endure and focus on farming and survival. Many forget or don't even know that some of Nigeria's most respected northern statesmen were Christians from this region. Consider Dr. Barau Diko, the first medical doctor from northern Nigeria, Professor Ishaya Audu, the first indigenous vice chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University and personal physician to Sir Ahmadu Bello. These men were Christians and hailed from what is now the Northern Senatorial Zone. So when someone like El-Rufai comes out with his usual narratives, I urge you to look beyond his eloquence and media savvy. He has a well-documented pattern of misrepresenting facts, especially when the political tide turns against him. Let's also not forget how deliberate distortion of Kaduna's demographics began in 1999. During the state and electoral boundary delineations, wards and polling units were strategically redrawn to favor a specific political and religious agenda. As the saying goes, in quotes, he who controls political power dictates everything. So, somebody put that out, and I thought you should see it, right? You see all this map you have on your screen. These are the known very much like, Kaduna's sort of like provinces, like all of their local government areas and what have you, right? And as you have them on the screen, there is no part of that Kaduna state that you don't have substantial Christian representation. So in 2019, El-Rufai, Kaduna, Littlefinger, breached that supposed sort of like unwritten uniform, they call that national character. Is that what you call it in Nigeria? National character, something like that in Kaduna, where everyone is indeed represented. and they are involved in decision makings of, their states. El Rufai breached all of that. And he brought a deputy governor that is a Muslim. And he told them, just to show to them that the Christians are inconsequential. He ran a Muslim, drilled rigged the election for himself, and he praised himself that the heaven didn't fall. Yeah, they complained, they lamented. He continued to gaslight them, call them out in a way that when you ask about how he treated them, it tells you that they deserved the way they were treated simply because they didn't like him. One of them also spoke on the matter just this evening, right? And he's from Southern Kaduna precisely. Watch this.
Of Kaduna State, in Kubo, Ikara, Makarfi, there are Christians in good number. So what he's saying is nothing but the peddling of falsehood. Now, let me say something very clear and categorical. Having served and being the Director General of this campaign, he did not even find us worthy to respect us and then treat our people with fairness. Sheung, I fought my elders to a standstill to ensure that we brought Malam Nasser El-Rufai to government. And all he had to do was to exclude us and then treat the Southern Kaduna people like lepers. That was the kind of thing he needed. So he joined the heads of Kaduna State and sharply divided Kaduna State. But thanks be to God, we have a consummate Democrat, a passionate and a compassionate leader in the person of Senator Ubasani, who means well. That is why immediately he came on board as the governor of Kaduna State, he met a sharply divided state, and the first thing he did was to cement relationship. He brought the two extreme ends of Kaduna State to become one, and confidence building came. And then the next thing was championing the security situation with the help of the National Security Advisor and our community leaders, religious leaders, and stakeholders in those communities that suffered the mayhem and insurgents came together with a non-kinetic idea to go about quelling and subduing these insurgents by herdsmen, kidnappers, and all that. What did they do? In a community, they can easily pinpoint the people that are doing that and then those that are associated with them. So a parley came on board and they sat together and had a common understanding on value for life and prosperity for Kaduna State. Of Kaduna State.
I really don't see how anyone who actually witnessed what took place in Kaduna State under El Rufai will find it comfortable to speak good of him. I would rather just keep quiet and say nothing than try to want to explain somebody like El Rufai to anyone. But we saw school children, college students, some of them killed while they are being kidnapped en masse. En masse. And he didn't just do that to children, Christians, even Muslims. Because the Shiites and their own religious doctrine is considered different from others who are practicing another style of Islam. So the Shiites they don't have political power. Do you understand? They don't. They are the people who are not they don't even have voters card. Their own loyalty is to Iran. They are just existing in Nigeria because Nadir, they are created. So to me, they poses no threat to anyone except if the security agent comes out and say, oh, we found something that they are up to something. But these guys are not up to anything. They were doing their procession. Procession. Reading Sometimes they won't even talk. They'll just hold their hands in twos. They'll just form a line in twos. And they will be going. They can trek for about 10, 15, 20 kilometers. Trek back. They call it procession. In one of those procession in Kaduna, Zaria, while they were going, Rataye the butcher then was their chief of army staff in Nigeria. Head of army. He was coming from somewhere. He saw the procession. He expected these people to break this. They didn't. He got upset. And the whole thing became rowdy. Eventually, once he came down, they realized he was saying, and they made their way out of the crowd and they left. As if that was all. Few hours later, they actually sent soldiers from different barracks in Kaduna. They were all battle ready, gun loaded, and their job was to slaughter any Shiite they see. It was a bloodbath. Nigerian soldiers, they were shooting women, children, shoot to kill. At a stage, some of them ran straight into churches, ran into mosques. You know what the Nigerian soldiers did? They entered those churches, dragged these people out, and, executed them. That's what they did. It was that gory. It was that, I can never forget it. I'm telling you, I'll tell my own children and my children's children about this. I won't forget it. One of the horror that every time I look at this guy and I see him, I'm like, if Nigeria was a country. Seriously? You know what he did? After they slaughtered those people, it wasn't a day operation, no. Right? It was not a day operation. It lasted for 2 days. When they finally reached El Zakzaki's house, that was another different kind of madness, massacre. 4 of his own sons were slaughtered right before his very eyes, like that. They were shot. Soldiers, Nigerian soldiers, because Buratai felt, his ego felt bruised. Because of his ego. And guess what? After all the killings, Nigerian army, they mopped up all the bodies. 1,474 human beings. They dug shallow grave for them, and they dumped all their bodies inside and buried them. Few days and years after that, El Rufaya will openly brag that go and ask El Zakzaki about me. Nobody dares me. I not get burned. El Rufai said that. He mocked Yaradua. Yaradua dared me. He died. He said that publicly. He is that vile. Chidi Odinkalu used to call him little vile man. El Rufai. I don't know what anyone is going to actually tell me. As you see, when you say all these things, you are going to see their ass lickers that will tell you that it's because you hate him. It's because, I'm like, are you mad? Did you not hear all I said? Is it the one that shot them? Is it, oh, gosh, man. But yeah, we are documenting everything. Leaving that side, moving on. Let's stop by in Suleja. Few days ago, Rago of Mina, their governor, his video made it onto Maiyegun's diary Politico, where he bragged that there is no poverty in Niger State. And that's how they do. They boldly and confidently, they would lie. And they expect you to believe the lie. If you don't, then you will be gaslighted. code names and all of that until you drop it. You see, there's no amount of propaganda. There is no amount of gaslighting, blackmailing, name it, that will ever alter the reality. As Koolu and his gang are trying to force their propagandas down the throat of the most brutalized, abused, assaulted Nigerians to believe that things are better. In reality, you don't even need commentary. This was in Suleja, where Aguafmina said it was doing palliative Abina empowerment. Baba, an hungry man is an angry woman, angry man. They've counted the whole thing. I'm like, are you sure that what they have left will reach all of us like this? And then I don't think so. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? And they'll be like, yeah, but what are you thinking? And then you're going to be like, you see those people that are carrying gun, do you think those guns are loaded? Yeah, they are possibly loaded. Okay. Thinking that we should rush it and grab anyone we can grab before, because I don't think we are going to get any from this. So the sharp one will just be like, hey, K, just so you know, if we don't rush that thing there, we are not going to get anything on. So they will kind of get 2, 3, or 4 orders to join them and then rush them. There's a name for that. I think there is a diagnosis for it too. I can't remember, but I can try to make it up. Those of you who are very smart, you probably will understand what I mean. So there's something called a scarcity syndrome. Maybe that's not what it is called though, but let me explain, right? When you take a look at your criminal politicians, so many of them that you have known for years, and to you, they have stolen so much, yeah? But yet, they are not satisfied. Why? Okay, let's leave the politicians for a sec. You and a friend, right, are invited to a party. And at the party, they said, well, here, you would have to serve yourself. And that means you can serve yourself and eat as many times as you want. You don't really have to eat at once. But the scarcity syndrome will make someone feels like, if I don't take all these things now, all these people, by the time they take it, if you finish, maybe when I'm going to come back to come and get another one, that will be when they will say everything has finished. So let me pack it now. to the point that they may even pack so much that they can't even finish. They will put everything on their plates. Greed. Do you know why is that? Because maybe not you or you. Majority of us, we are from the poverty capital of the world. For a very long time, many of us grew up in poverty, where everything is rationed. So therefore, when there is anything more than the normal rations you get, or if you have any opportunity of, seeing more, the fear in you is that because you are so used to living the life of scarcity, you could just be like, say, everything won't finish. Because you don't want to eat a full plate of food now. And tomorrow you are eating 1/3 of that, because that's what you normally eat. So maybe you should eat 2 plates or even 3, so that you can stock the food everywhere. Because I don't go come back here tomorrow to chop. I chop everything now. Scarcity syndrome. Some of you know that. Yeah. So that exists in a lot of us, that even when a lot of us who becomes criminal politicians or they are foot soldiers, even when we see money, they are not contented. You see? Even when everything they now have everything they now have used to be their dreams. There was a time that most of what you have right now, they used to be your dreams. Oh man, I need to get my first degree, and after that I'm going to look for a very nice job, and then in fact I actually wanted to work in in this social sector, and after that, oh yeah, you know what, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have 3 kids, and I'm going to have this or that. Most of those things, all of you don't achieve them. Whether in a career, whether in a family, whether all these things. But guess what? You are still ambitious and having more. That is different from the scarcity syndrome. Scarcity syndrome is that of someone who believes that once they are exposed to something that is more than, it's like being out of your depth, right? So once they are like that, they always feel like those things will disappear. It will go away. So they need to quickly take whatever they can take now before these will change their mind. Oh, yeah, pack, got to change mind. That's the mentality majority of us have. So when you go to the public and they say, everybody on a straight line, some will look at the line, they will say, are you sure say this thing will reach us like this? Are you sure this thing will reach us? The next hour, okay, I don't think so. What you make we do? Don't worry, I know what to do now. Move, follow me. Okay, follow me. They call it being smart. But the real thing that is working in our brain is just that we are so scared, okay, of missing out on something, because we always feel like if we miss out on it, we can never make up for it. You understand? Somebody should look for the name and tell me later. But Vex Lady has now advised those who want to give her birthday gifts when she turned 64 or 65. She has directed all of now we won't give her money, where you should pay the money to. National Library, I think. Listen.
Special grace of God, I will be turning 65 years old on the 21st September 2025. And this happens to be a Sunday. This is why I have decided to dedicate the day to God for all His blessings in my life and having a quiet birthday. I wish to appeal to those who would like to send a birthday card, cakes, flowers, greetings in the newspapers, or gifts. Should please send the funds to the designated account for a special project close to my heart, among many others. The completion of the National Library. This will be the best birthday present I could receive. My love for education has informed my decision to dedicate my birthday to this worthy cause. This fund is coordinated by the Federal Ministry of Education under Oluremi at 65 Education Fund, Zenith Bank PLC. Account number is 131 031-4977. Thank you for joining me.
We not get another one. Only me Tinubu. Now our mama believe so. We not get another one. Now our mama believe so. We not get another one. Now I'm a Lisa, we not get another one. Honorary Tinubu.
Director's Court. I bet that didn't take you long before you before you get it, right? That she's the vexed lady. Remi Werey Wike now. I don't want to call her rat. Now you've made me say rat now, right? So, vexed lady. All you need to understand that title is just a face. Just a face. All right? Right. Now, lastly, tonight, we are going to stop by in Lagos, where indeed the mega shitty has some shanties to clear. There's always shanty to clear. There are shanties everywhere. Let's go to Lagos, where the illegal street traders received visitors from Wahabi Wole Wole. Since I do like this, when I be like this, I have been seeing government demolishing illegal structures in Lagos. Today, I am a father of 5. Yeah. And here I am. My children are seeing it. And I think if Nigeria continue to exist, there is a chance that their own children will see it too. It is all for the performative show for it. Because in another few months, they will be back there, and guess what? The same people, tax force, will be giving them tickets to collect money from them, since that is what they do in Lagos, the rent seekers. Let's go to bed. So thank you very much for your time, everyone. For those of you who probably who joined us midway and all that. You can watch this from the start. It should be interesting to watch. All right. And to the rest of you, the Templars who have been here all night, thank you very much again. But please don't leave without liking it. All right. Do that. And you have all my thanks. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you some other time. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary, diary Politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.